the 3rd of August, Sunday, 2025. I've just done my morning cardio. I woke up at 5 a.m. I prayed Fajr, I did my morning routine. And this morning, I really did not want to get up. Like, I did my morning routine and then immediately I was so tired and I started negotiating with myself, like, no, you need to get, you can go back to sleep. Like, you're not going to function that well. You've only had 4 hours sleep. And you're going to have a better day if you do. But every time I've caved to that voice of comfort, I've ended up having a much worse day. Because it's the voice of comfort that actually keeps us from achieving our fullest potential. So when we go through those periods of, you're tired, you don't know if this is even worth it, you don't even know why you're still putting yourself through this pain when it seems like other people are just living this life on easy mode. We see all these like entrepreneurs like our age, like I'm 24, you see these like 20-year-olds and they wake up at like 12 p.m, 1 p.m, and they've got the Ferraris and they've got the lifestyle and they've got everything in order, it seems. And here's me and you, we're putting ourselves through this discomfort, waking up early and just trying to better ourselves, because no one's given us like a script to make it out. No one's given us some kind of direction like, right, yeah, we'll just do these things and then naturally you're going to be a millionaire. Because that's not how this life works. The journey that we're on, we're going completely against the grain and doing the things that all the people around us, they don't want to do. Like, for the past couple of years, since I finished uni and I was running my sales agency, I was living with my parents. And I look around at all the people in the neighborhood. There's some nice cars. It's like BMWs, Audis. Some of them are getting nice renovations done. And it seems like they're living like an okay life, you know? Like a mediocre life, like they've got their mortgage paid off or they're paying off their mortgage. They've got like a nice German car. They maybe got like a family of 4 or 5. And it seems like, it's quite stress-free, you know, like just do your 9 to 5, come home, see your wife, see your kids. But that's the life that terrifies me the most. It's that mediocre life that terrifies me the most. When I see my dad, he comes home after a long day of work and all he wants to do is not really talk to us, just sit in front of the TV and just escape his reality. Because he's been beaten down for like 50 years of working and he's just tired of it. Doing jobs that these people don't even want to do. These people just do it out of necessity. Because they have to get their paycheck, because they have to provide for their family. Because the whole weight of the family is on their shoulders. And every time that I catch myself being ungrateful for the position that I'm in, I'm able to pursue entrepreneurship every day. I'm able to put myself through this discomfort. I'm able to strive towards my higher self every day. I have to say Alhamdulillah. And it's easier said than done, because when we have massive dreams and massive aspirations where we don't want to be like these people that we see around us that have this mediocre life, but they don't want to actually be living it. When we see that, and then we have to compare our own hardship and our own struggles, because we haven't got our result right now, it's really easy to be ungrateful. And because we don't know the direction exactly where it's taking us, it's easy to be ungrateful. And because we're comparing ourselves to these people online that have already got the life that we think we want, it's easy to be ungrateful. But brother, we've got so much more to be grateful for than we even realize. We have another day with breath in our lungs. We're still in our youth. We still have so much time ahead of us, inshallah. We have the ability and we have these dreams that these people couldn't even comprehend for themselves. Most of the people that we see in this middle class now that are living with the German cars and family of 4 or 5 and then they work their 9 to 5 and come home, they probably had these dreams and these aspirations to go and achieve massive things. But little by little, month by month, day by day, life beats that dream out of people because they don't see it possible for themselves. Because they look around at what everyone else is doing in their circle, in their bubble, and they've all kind of bent the knee to the normal path, the uni, the 9 to 5, the comfortable job. In 10 years, you'll make 100k. But brother, that's not the life that me and you have chosen for ourselves. Because we know what's out there. We know that there's so much abundance out there. And if we stick to our guns, when we stick to our guns, we're going to have to be able to pave such a bigger path than our father's generation, than all the people we see in our day-to-day lives. Because we have a different opportunity. We have the internet. We have social media. We have the blessing of being able to compare ourselves to all these other people. 20 years ago, you couldn't just open your phone and see a guy driving a Ferrari or a Lambo in Dubai. This stuff didn't exist. You didn't have this abundance of self-improvement and all these different business models and all these opportunities available to us on our phones, on our YouTube, on our Instagram. We didn't have this abundance of connection. We couldn't just speak to someone across the world at a minute's notice. But we have so many blessings that we take for granted. We have so many blessings, the ability to be able to wake up early and pursue our goals. We have the ability of all this abundance of knowledge and food and power to craft ourselves into the best bodies that we can get. We have the ability to be able to put our face on the floor and pray to God. I've been to Mecca twice within the past year, and I've been able to unload all my problems to God. And my situation has changed drastically in that time period. Because when you ask the creator of the universe to help you with your affairs, there's no way he doesn't say yes. When your intentions are sincere, when you're actually praying to him, when you're actually showing humility in the eyes of God, but working as if it's up to you. When you work as if there's a fire up your arse and you have to do this, otherwise you might die. Otherwise, you're not going to achieve the life that you desire so much. But you pray like it's always up to God, because it is. That's when he starts giving you his blessings. But it's when we get so caught up in, oh, am I even going to make it? Is this work even going to be worth it? Letting the doubt overcome you to the point where you'll sleep in that day. Because you don't know if it's even worth it. When you'll end up scrolling reels instead of doing the work. Because you don't know if it's even worth it. When you'll go and eat that bad food because everyone else is doing it and you don't know if it's even worth you sticking to your diet. All of these things show ingratitude for God, for the blessings and the abundance that we have on our plate. You know, sometimes the Ferraris and the mansions and all that kind of stuff doesn't even motivate me. Like, I've driven the Ferrari, I've rented the Ferrari, I've lived that high life in Dubai. And sometimes I envision the Ferrari, but it doesn't get my gears going that much. What gets my gears going is the fear of wasted potential. It's the fear of not living up to this vision that I've created in my mind. It's the fear of succumbing to this life that my father and his generation, they live around them. And saying this, we need to be grateful for the life that they've got. My dad came from Pakistan, no money, just a degree that he's lived in Afghanistan to go and get when the Americans and the Soviets and the Taliban were fighting, and he saw adversity. He saw real pain. He saw people's limbs being blown off and all that kind of stuff, and he didn't know if he was going to wake up or if he was going to get bombed. So here's me worrying about this adversity, like I've got to wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. and I've got to work 16 hours a day and I've got to go and work hard in the gym. This is nothing compared to the struggle that our fathers have been through. He's had to put the food on the table for the past 30, 40 years whilst doing a job that I don't know if he even likes. He's a surgeon. I don't know if he even likes that. He's got so much flipping turmoil on his head when he's got to go tell a family, no, sorry, your dad didn't make it, your mum didn't make it, your grandma didn't make it. But he's done what he had to do to put the food on the table. And here's me and you with this opportunity to make money from our phones, to make money from this plethora of opportunities. And we're complaining that it's difficult. But how blessed are we? How blessed are we? When I did my push-ups this morning, I was so tired. I did my 50 push-ups after praying my Fajr as always, and I was so tired and I wanted to go back to sleep. And I did the push-ups, and immediately I was like, right, I feel better. This is why I do what I do. Because so many people aren't doing this. We're living in the age of comfort. So many people just want to sleep in. So many people just want to scroll TikTok, and they say they want these dreams and they say they want these aspirations, but they don't actually want it, because otherwise they do something about it. Just talking about, we need to get rich, bro, that does nothing for you. It does absolutely nothing. I used to say I wanted these dreams and I wanted these ambitions, and I used to just create this own barrier in my own mind to the point where I'd never go and chase it. Because I thought, you need money to do this, and, I don't know if I'm good at this. You're never going to know until you try. It's only when I started taking action and failing that I understood that failure is just the first step. Failure is the precursor to our goals. Failure is the precursor to our success. I wasted so much time on Forex, just wasting all this money thinking it was a quick way out, just gambling all my money on these accounts, following these signals, and I lost thousands. And I was like, if I just follow what this person's saying, then I'm naturally going to make money. But that's not real. Until you've learned the skills, until you've built the character, you're not going to make money. Until you've been through enough adversity, you're not going to make money. Until you've built the body, the mind, and the soul, you don't deserve the money. Because what are you going to do when you've got the money, but you're not the man? What are you going to do when you've got the money, but still no one's looking at you, still no one's giving you that validation, still no one respects you? You're still not able to influence people. And you just try throw money at all these different problems, thinking that it's going to make you satisfied. But brother, the satisfaction lies in what we're doing today. The satisfaction lies in not knowing if we're even going to make it. The satisfaction lies in sacrificing a piece of our soul every single day in the form of effort. And praying to God and deepening our connection with Him. And making sure that we've got our afterlife in check as well. And making sure that our family knows that we're putting the work in every single day. Inshallah, by this time next week, I'm going to be moving out with one of my boys. And I'm super grateful for my parents, like Asian parents especially, but they've kept a roof over my head over the past couple of years when I've been taking all these risks, when I've been gambling on my future. And to this day, I'm still gambling on my future. I'm taking a risk. I'm paying rent now. I'm going to be doing all stuff on my own time. I'm going to got more bills to pay. The money from my sales agency that I've run over the past 2 years is slowing down. Like, I made 10k a month consistently, and it took me a year to get to that point, by the way. I used to pray with my head on the floor, like when I was in my 9 to 5, Allah, please help me get to 10k a month. And I thought it would be overnight, and it took me a year. It took me a literal year. When I had these promises of making millions, it took me a year to hit 10k a month and 15k a month. And I was making that consistently, and then in the month of July, I made like 4k. But it's only through detaching from the outcome and putting my faith in Allah that I was able to see better days. And now, as soon as I detached, as soon as I just focused on the inputs, I got good news of knowing that this month of August is going to be a good month. But that money's slowing down now. And I have to think about my next steps. And I have to think about the lives that I can impact with this coaching, because some of you guys have come into here and you've already witnessed such a big turnaround in your lives. And it's so gratifying for me to see when I get the messages like, bro, you don't even know the impact you've had. You don't even know the impact that you've had helping me better my life. You don't even know how much you've helped me keep myself accountable. and seeing the progress you've made in the gym, seeing the progress you've made with your habits, seeing the progress you're making towards your future, that's what gratifies me. But I wouldn't have been able to even make any kind of impact in that realm, and I'm not even a fraction of where I want to be, but I wouldn't have been able to give advice and come on this camera if I hadn't put myself through turmoil. If I hadn't worked on a sales agency for 18 months whilst making no money, whilst retaining a sales team whilst making no money, whilst making all of the mistakes that I preach on this camera of being ungrateful and wasting all my money on the wrong things and taking all these trips when I couldn't afford it, and focusing on the image of what other people thought about me rather than just developing myself. I wouldn't have been able to have these lessons and share these lessons with you guys if I hadn't been through the torment myself. But me and you, brother, we've got so much potential. But it comes from stopping listening to that voice. The voice of comfort. The negotiator that tells you that even if you succumb to the comfort today, you're going to have a better day tomorrow. It's not true. Because the losses compound just as much as the wins compound. Every time I get these thoughts of, am I actually going to make it? Am I going to make it? I remind myself that I'm doing so much more than the other person would. I'm putting myself through that self-imposed discipline in an age of ease. And the more that we detach from the actual outcome, the more that we detach from, oh, well, I've just put this work in, where's my money? I've just posted this video, where's my views? I've just posted all of this. Once we detach from the outcome, we get our outcome anyway. Because we can't become so obsessed with our daily effort and the man that we're becoming. Our success only lies in the man that we become. Our success only lies in our daily effort. Our success only lies in our level of self-development. So we can't bend the knee to our future by sacrificing ourselves in the present. We can't sacrifice our potential by succumbing to that comfort in the present. We can't sacrifice that mediocrity by bending the knee to what everybody else is doing. We must do whatever is necessary to get towards our goals. I will do what is required to get towards my goals. Not what's nice, not what's optimal. Not, oh, I need 8 hours of sleep because it's optimal. I've had 4 hours sleep and I'm still going to perform because my purpose is stronger than my comfort. And I want the same for you, bro. This is the mindset we need to succeed. This is the mindset that we need to overcome all adversity. This is the mindset we need to escape the mediocrity and be able to have that, afford ourselves that freedom in the future. You have so much more potential than you realize, bro, but it's just about tapping into that every single day. Not settling for less. I mean, people like message me sometimes and it's like, oh, bro, I just want to network with like-minded people. I used to say the same thing when I was a fraction of a person I am today. When I was still smoking weed and I wasn't in the best shape I could be in and I hadn't unlocked any level of focus. I had no value to provide. So when you say like-minded people, they're not like-minded. You want to network with people in a higher position than you. The only way you obtain access to people in a higher position than you is through providing them value or being coached by them. That's what I had to do. When I got into appointment setting, I had to buy an appointment setting mentorship, high ticket sales. When I started in door-to-door sales, I saw a guy was making money. I worked under him and then started my own agency. When I wanted to start social media, I invested in a mentor. And that was expensive. I've spent like 10K in the past 3 months over on mentorships and courses. Because I understand that nothing in this life comes free. You want access to higher people, you need to provide them value or take the lessons and advice that they've got to offer you through their hardship that they've already been through. They've got the lessons. And then eventually you get to that echelon. And then you can start giving advice and help to the people that are in the position you were once in. This is the progression of life. We can't ask of things before going through the necessary sacrifice to be deserving of obtaining them. It's the only way we get what we want. Sacrifice, systems, discipline. Because we only rise to the level of our systems. We don't rise to the level of our goals. You can set all of the goals you want, but if your daily process is weak, if you're still waking up late, if you can't focus on your work for longer than an hour, if you can't hit the gym consistently and keep your diet clean, then don't expect success, bro. Then you can just bend the knee and do what everyone else is doing. Then you can just work the 9 to 5. Then you can just live the mediocre life. But I know that you want more than that. I know that I want more than that. And it's that desire alone will take us places we can't imagine, but it's the desire plus action that puts it into practice. Most of our problems in life can be solved by becoming the man that we want to be, the man that we seeked. The reason I make these videos is because I want another guy like me, who's in my position, that I can look up to, who's making these videos. Because I don't see many people in my position doing stuff like this. I see people way more successful than me doing this. I don't see someone in my position doing this. I'm preaching Allah. I'm preaching that you need to focus on the development before you become successful. All I see is these gurus trying to sell you onto their secret business model to make money, but it doesn't matter what business model you pursue, bro. If you've not built yourself up, you're not going to make any results with it. I only started seeing results with my sales agency after a year of intense work. I let go of my development. I stopped waking up early. I got fat, all of that kind of stuff. And I didn't see the results I wanted to. And it's only when I started waking up early again and prioritizing my fitness and my faith and my relationship with God that I started seeing results. Because we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. Once you've got the systems and the desire in place, anything is possible for us, bro. We have to start today, not tomorrow. You need to look yourself in the eyes and ask yourself, are you working hard enough to get towards your goals? Are you actually putting in the necessary sacrifice to get towards your goals? And if the answer is no, then you need to define what your goals actually are. Write it down. Write your big overarching goal. For example, I want to be a millionaire. I've seen the Middle East go through a lot of turmoil, and I want to actually make some impact, and I want to make sure that we're actually first world nations of Muslims. I want to make sure that we're actually rich and religious, and not just bending the knee to what the world wants us to do, because we've got so much potential, but it's been sucked out of us. It's just as Muslims in general. If you're not Muslim, then you might have similar aspirations for your creed or your religion or your race. But I see so many people talking about you can't be rich and religious, and then you look at like how the Middle East and all the potential they had years ago, but then it was sucked out of them by endless nothing wars. And people clown on the religion of Islam, but they don't even look into it. And people like try and clown on it like, oh, you say it's the religion of peace. Nowhere ever does it say that. Islam means submission. I'm not a perfect Muslim, but I try to read the Quran, I pray. I'm a sinner, I'm not perfect. But once people understand the beauty of the religion, they don't have anything bad to say about it. And so many people within the religion, they'll try and like clown on you for trying to be successful. But it's through the success that we're able to actually make an impact on the world. It's through the success that people can stop looking at us in a regressive manner, like, oh, they're Muslim, they they just don't have teeth, and no. Our bigger overarching purpose has to be so much bigger. So putting these things into practice, like having purpose-driven goals, you want to be a millionaire, you want to retire your family, you can remind yourself of that all the time. Like I always remind myself, do you want to be a millionaire or not? And then break down your goals to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months. Things based on your input, like, all right, well, I want to make my first £10,000, £5,000. I'm going to do this many sales calls and get in this business model to do it, and that kind of stuff. I want to get in the best shape of my life, so I'm going to hit the gym 6 times a week, and I'm going to do cardio every morning. I'm going to do my weight session. and I'm going to eat a clean diet, and I'm going to make this workout plan and structure and diet plan. I'm going to hold myself to a standard of excellence every day. Make these goals for yourself that you're going to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months. And then have a solid 4-step morning routine that's based around you waking up early. That's going to get you in a high flow state to go and accomplish your goals. This is the 5-4-5 method that I was taught to by my mentor, and I've put it into practice for you guys that have done the coaching. And it's what helped me actually develop purpose-driven systems to get my life in check, and start moving purposefully towards my goals. And I know it's worked for you guys as well. It's the systems that we rely on that are going to help us push forward. Just start today, bro. Whatever it is, however small, start living up to your potential today. And there's no way we don't get what we want. Keep pushing.